要继续，今天已经是第50篇了。其实不知不觉的也是坚持了这么久，虽然没有任何的数据上的结果，但是我觉得从朗读的这个层面，能够让我自己觉得有一些提高了。随着自己读的越多，你自己这种怎么说呢？就是这种单词的阅读会更加清晰、更加清楚。慢慢的，在你读英文的时候，或者说英文的时候，这样的一种清晰的发音是有很大帮助的。先读吧，第50篇 University Systems. The university systems in Britain is the US are very different in their approach. Many more Americans go to university than British people, and the courses they follow are much broader. They do credits in a variety of subjects. While in Britain, particularly in England, students tend to concentrate on a narrow area of study and examine it in great depth. There are arguments in favor of both systems. In this unit, you will hear a discussion between two people about the value of higher education. Peter Davies is an American student and John James is an English student. They discuss the differences between university education in the US and Britain and its relevance to modern life. University system in Britain and the US. I disagree, Peter. I don't think it really matters what your educational background is. Anyone who is bright enough is going to do well whatever their education. But John, in fact, I think some people carry on with their education when they would do a lot better to get out and start building their own careers by learning things in real life. Yes, but the whole point is life is getting so much more complicated these days that unless you carry on with your studies, you just can't cope. For certain things and certain people, okay, but to my mind, the big problem is in education is that you specialize too quickly. I mean, in England, you start specializing from the 3rd year in secondary school. When you are about 14, and it gets steadily narrower until you do your A levels in only 2 or 3 subjects. You either do languages or natural science and social science. But surely these days you have to join. You can't possibly study everything because they are just too much. Yes, but how many kids at the age of 16 really know what they want to do? How many of them are convinced that the 3 subjects they've chosen or have been recommended are the ones that will let them follow the careers they eventually decided on? Oh, I think most young people who stay on at school have a fair idea of what they want to do. I'm not so sure, Peter. And after all, that's not the end of it. When they get to university in England, the subjects they study are so narrow that they are only good for one thing. So they are stuck with it. But I don't really see that there is any alternative if people are going to learn enough to be competent in their subject. They've got to specialize early, and I suppose those that realize they made a mistake can always swap to something else. Oh, but that's just it. You can't. Suppose you study languages at university and then decide that you are not cut out for it. and would like to be a doctor, you've burnt your bridges. You can't just change horses in mid-stream. You've got to go right back to the beginning, and you lose yours. You lose your years. I think the American system is much better. In what way? Well, for your first degree, you've got to study a fairly wide range of subjects, and you can choose them yourself within certain limits. Fine, but doesn't that mean that American students with a first degree don't have the depth of knowledge they should have? Should have for what? Well, they often aren't accepted for postgraduate work in England with just a first degree. Maybe not, but I don't really think that's important. They come out with a pretty good general knowledge in a wide area. After all, when you think about a lot of the stuff English students have to study, what good is it to them afterwards? I'm sure the majority of British students never use 90% of what they studied at university. That may be true of some arts subjects, but what about the science? Even there, a lot of what they do at university is so academic and abstruse that they will never be able to put it to any practical use. I'm sure they would benefit far more from on-the-job experience, and if they've had a broader course of study, they've got two advantages. How do you mean? First of all, they will have a better understanding of the world in general, so they will be more flexible in their jobs, and then if things to go wrong, they will be able to switch jobs more easily. That's all sounds very simple, but I think you are still underestimating the amount of pure learning that you need these days, particularly in technical and scientific areas. I mean, even at school these days, children have to learn far more things than we did when we were at school. All the more reason why we should not try to concentrate on such a few things at such an early age. Things are changing so rapidly these days that we have to change with them. When we were younger, there was a pretty good chance that we would be able to carry on in the profession we had chosen until we retired. But these days, people have got to be prepared to change their jobs and learn new skills as technology moves ahead. Take just the area of the office. 第50篇很快就结束了。稍微的回顾一下这50篇文章，以及这50多天吧，算是的一个小小的总结。不管是从朗读、阅读以及语音语调，可能我不是最好的，也不是最漂亮的，但是我觉得不管你是什么样子的，坚持一件事情的这种态度，我觉得应该去保持下去，不管你遇到什么困难。虽然现在我做这样一个记录，就是用阅读这种方式去让自己养成一个好的习惯的这种方式，让自己明白自己可以去坚持做一件事情。那么第50篇，这50篇文章是一个开始，我还会继续坚持下去。可能偶尔的话呢，会因为这样那样的事情有所耽误，但是我还会去坚持这样一个状态。我也希望我 可以不管是在做什么事情上，都要保持这样一种心态和态度，敢于去挑战自己，坚持，加油。虽然没有人会因为我的这样一种坚持而去觉得不管你去做什么都应该有这样一个态度，或者说不会因为我这样一个视频而让自己觉得要去做一件什么事情，或者说不会给任何人带来一些什么启发，也不会告诉别人应该怎么样去成功等等一系列的这样一种方式我都没有。但是我可以告诉我自己，我希望用这种方式也会告诉给别人，相信自己能去做，或者说能去坚持，这是比什么都重要的。敢于去尝试，敢于去做，这是最好的。加油！